Hey, check this out. This motherboard here, Gigabyte Z790 Aero G, $629. Cheap. Z790 Pro Art, about $800. Cheap. Z790 Aorus Master, $840. Cheap. MSI Z790 Godlike, $1,200. Here it is. This motherboard here features not 4, not 5, not 6, but 7 onboard M.2 NVMe slots. It costs more than most of the graphics cards out there. Let's take a look. CCL is the one-stop shop for all your creator PC needs. Whether you're looking for PC parts to upgrade, full systems, laptops, monitors, peripherals, you name it, CCL's got it. With their competitive pricing and great reviews, it's a no-brainer. Use the code TN10 to get a special discount when spending over £250. So for your next purchase, consider checking out CCL in the video description below. Now, the people who are gonna go for a motherboard like this, the most likely are gonna have something like an MSI RTX 4090 as well, but probably not the gaming Triax because it's cheap. We need something a bit more, you know, like the Supreme X 4090, because you can, I guess. Let's take a look. So what do you get with a $1,200 motherboard? Here's the motherboard. Obviously, this is a media sample, so probably someone has used it before me. As you can see, there's tape over it. We'll take the motherboard out. Oh wow, that's heavy. Let's see what's underneath. What type of goodies do you get for $1,200? So first of all, you get this M-Vision or MSI Vision. So this you can connect to your computer via the USB in the back of the I/O, and then get like your GPU or CPU or whatever PC stats shown in here, or other sorts of things how you can use that. So that's interesting. MSI USB stick. Okay, there's braided SATA cables, as you can see, but people who would go for this motherboard, I doubt they would be using SATA cables. So there's 8 braided SATA cables, RGB extension cable from the motherboard, and splitter cable actually. So you can split the 12-volt RGB cable from the motherboard into 2. There's a temperature header or PRON, and then here there's, I think, Corsair RGB header to 5-volt header on the motherboard, because MSI motherboards have usually like the Corsair proprietary connector as well on the motherboards. Here's another RGB splitter, so 1 5-volt to 3 5-volt headers. Quick release M.2, quick release M.2 header or standoff, another M.2 standoff, keyring, MSI keyring, another temperature PRON, another quick release M.2 standoff, quick installation guide. Apparently you can scan the QR code from the box. Then we've got a mini DisplayPort to large DisplayPort cable. There's this, I think this is either HD audio or USB 2.0 extension cable. We've got USB Type-C to Type-A cable. I think that is for your M-Vision. Mini DisplayPort to DisplayPort cable. And then we have the MSI Wi-Fi antenna, which is magnetic as well. So then, here's the motherboard. First of all, it is very heavy. It's the heaviest motherboard I have ever felt. I mean, this is like, I don't know how heavy, but the nice thing is that there's a point why this is heavy. The whole back of the motherboard is covered with this protective shield metal kind of plate, and there's even, like, I can see either some thermal pads or standoffs, actually thermal pads there, so they cool a little bit of the back of the motherboard. They put the kind of heat from the back, whatever, there's VRMs and power delivery, you know, on the back metal plate, which means it's going to run a little bit cooler. But this is nice because you're much less likely to shave off some of the SMDs or capacitors off the motherboard when you've got this protective backplate, because I've done that recently, accidentally. Oh no. I have discovered some very, very alarming alarming news. Okay, in order to understand this motherboard, we have to start looking step by step on all of the features that are around here. So here's the socket, obviously, for 12th and 13th gen. We've got 5 DDR5 slots, and it supports like the highest DDR5 OCs and all sorts of that, because this is actually an overclocking motherboard. But I'm trying to look at this like from a creator's perspective. Is it still interesting for creators? Because there's one feature that you won't believe it's not gonna have. I'll talk to you in a minute. And also, one of the first things here is the OC features. There's a lot of overclocking headers and combinations. Like there's one on the top there, and then there's a whole bunch in the bottom corner here. And some of these are like OC retry, there is slow boot, the safe boot jumper, there's a low temperature boot jumper, all sorts of things in here. In fact, one of the cool things is there is like a chassis intrusion as well. So somehow there's some sensors that you can connect to here, and if someone moves the chassis or something like that, it triggers the alarm or something like that, which is interesting. And then also some of the things you don't see in a normal motherboard are these switches over here. There is a BIOS switch, multi-BIOS switch, by the way. Then you can put LEDs off and on the motherboard through that switch. And there's an M switch here as well, which is for the M Vision. So this will switch between the normal mode and then the M Vision mode of the actual M Vision dashboard. Moving on from the motherboard, on this side we can see 2 EPS connectors for the CPU, 8 pin, 2 8 pins there, the CPU fan and the pump fan over here, and there's a few fan headers all around the motherboard. So if you look on the corner here, there's 1 2 3 fan headers, fan header 1 2 3 in there, 4 5 in here, one of them CPU fan, one of them pump fan. Then you've got some more in here, 6 7 8 9 10, and then you've got a water flow meter here as well to meter, you know, to monitor water flow. But then there's the pump fan headers here that are actually 3 amperes and 12 watts, so 36 watts, but then the rest of the headers are actually 24 watts. Some of the pump fans aren't actually configurable on the, you know, fan curve, but they run just 100% all the time. But then all the chassis fans can be configured through BIOS or some of the other software. Moving on, we've got the Dr. Debug to show us the CPU temperature, as well as some of the error codes if we ever get any. Then we've also got the Q LED lights here. So between boot, you can see whether we go CPU, RAM, VGA, and then boot. Very helpful things as well to kind of see where the motherboard or the PC gets stuck when you're booting. Then you've got some RGB connectors. You've got one angled connector on the top there, and that is 5 volts. And then on the bottom here, there is another 5 volt header here. And then I see a 12 volt header there. Then another 5 volt on here, and then another 12 volt over here. So let's move on to like the top of the motherboard here. Just have a look at some of these connectors. Obviously 24 pin ATX motherboard power. Then we've got a 6 pin PCIe power that actually supports 60 watt quick charge through one of the USB-C front panel connectors here. Both of these are 20 gigabits in speed. And then we've got 2 USB type A front panel connectors. These are USB 3.2 Gen 1 connectors, so 5 gigabits in speed. Then we've got 6 SATA ports. Then moving on here, you've got your front panel headers, as well as, like, you know, I mentioned this already, some OC headers, all sorts of different things that you can monitor and adjust and so on. Then we've got a power and reset onboard buttons here. USB 2.0 headers, 2 of them over here. Sensor headers in here. TPM header there. There's a power LED button there. I think that's if you want to power the motherboard just like through this header. Like, let's say you've got it on display somewhere, you can just plug it in here and then it would just put the LED power on. And then we have got front panel audio. But the most exciting thing that I want to find out is about these m.2 slots. And I've already seen some very interesting kind of things, how this works. For example, this panel here used to be just like a heatsink or something like that. So now there's like a little latch or lever. You push that, it's like a button. You push that in and then it comes up like that. And as you can see, the mechanism here is kind of on a spring loaded. You just push it and then it releases the little nubbins there. You've got 2 m.2 slots in there, and then you've got heat sinks underneath and then on top of them. And then very similar thing happens with this top cover here. You push this button and then it comes open, and then it's basically toolless removal of the M.2 SSD here. We've got heatsink on the top and then on the bottom of this, as well as RGB connector that's magnetic here for this little MEG like light up. But then the rest of these come through the screws. So the bottom heatsink is off. You can see there's a thermal pad there. Underneath the thermal pad, a copper kind of just piece of metal for the heatsink, and that is actually glued to this larger piece of metal. And then there's 2 more slots underneath there. Top cover here comes off. There is thermal pads on the top to this heatsink, as well as thermal pads underneath there for that as well. So let's talk about these M.2 slots then. This first slot, PCIe Gen 4, PCIe Gen 4, PCIe Gen 4. This fourth one here, PCIe Gen 5, but interestingly, it gets its lanes from the chipset and not from the CPU, which is interesting. Then this fifth M.2 slot here is Gen 3 X4 slot, but if you've got something plugged in here, you're going to lose a few SATA ports, but I guess you're probably not going to be bothered about that. And then 2 more over here, M.2 slot 6 and slot 7. But I can see already that this kind of guard here, or someone who's had it previously, has actually damaged a little bit of this here. So I'll try to bend this back inside. There we go, because these little nubbins probably have gone a little bit over or bent it up a little bit, and this metal is not very well strengthened, so that's that. What I like about this is that your M.2s are both like top and bottom are Hincy covered, so you're gonna like sandwich them together, which is very nice. So if you want a buttload of M.2 storage, I don't know if there's a motherboard quite like this one. Let's move onwards. The power delivery for this motherboard is absolutely insane as well. Obviously, this is for overclocking, and for creators, absolute overkill. You don't really need that, but it is very well cooled down. So these MOSFETs here are cooled by 2 heat pipes actually. There's one that goes over this like that, and then there's another one that goes kind of underneath on the other side there. So there's a massive heatsink that covers this, plus thermal pads to get the contact with these, and the heat pipe actually comes all the way here underneath this little bit of heatsink there as well. There's 26 plus 2 phases, and they're using 105 amperes smart power stages, which is, I mean, for overclockers, you're gonna get super excited. For creators, it's whatever, right? Let's move on to the I/O of the motherboard. So we've got a full-on audio outputs here, so all surround sound there, plus an optical output for people, which is very nice. You've got your Bluetooth and Wi-Fi antennas, which is the latest Wi-Fi 6E, and Bluetooth 5.3. We've got mini displays in here, as you can see. So basically this is where you would use the cable that was the mini display to a display cable from the motherboard box. You'd get the graphics card video output into this video input, and then you can get USB-C video output through these Thunderbolt 4s. So let's say you've got some, USB-C display or something, or Thunderbolt display or something like that. You can get video output through these ports here. And the video comes from the graphics card, not the iGPU of the CPU. And here's the thing, this motherboard doesn't support iGPU. So when you've got the likes of 13900K with an iGPU, it's not going to work with this one. Do you know why? Because they haven't actually routed power to these pins on the actual CPU socket to the CPU just to save the power for something else, because it's just an overclocking motherboard. So you're not going to get iGPU support. It's just not going to work. Sorry. But you still get Thunderbolt 4 out through the graphics card. But if you are wanting the likes of Intel QuickSync, say goodbye to this one, which kind of makes this whole creator aspect of this motherboard completely ridiculous and actually useless, because it's not meant for creators, as you can see. 10 gigabit Ethernet, I'm loving this. USB ports, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 USB type A ports, all of them 10 gigabits in speed. One of them is the M-Vision port there, where you would connect your M-Vision up to. You've got another 10 gigabit USB-C port here, and another 2.5 gigabit Lan port, as you can see here. You've got a smart button, which you can probably configure to do whatever you want, BIOS flashback and clear CMOS button all on the back panel there. So the question is, if you are a person, maybe creator, who's saying, just, you know, give me the best motherboard, do you think you should get this motherboard? And my answer is no. Why not? Well, there is the big reason why you shouldn't get this as a creator. iGPU support. So basically all the awesome Intel QuickSync feature that you would get in Adobe Premiere Pro or even DaVinci Resolve or a lot of the other video editing applications, you're not gonna get the awesome codec playback, hardware playback from the iGPU. And you're saying, what about the 40 series GPUs? Because I've got a 4090, I can play whatever I want with that. Well, actually, that's not true because the media engines on the iGPU are better than on the 4090. The 4090 decoders are the same as last generation 30 series, which are still worse than Intel's, you know, 13th gen iGPU, which is the UHD 770. But if you don't need the QuickSync feature, then there are a lot of things to like about this motherboard. For example, the m.2 slots. This is ridiculous. And PCIe Gen 5 m.2 slot, which is also absolutely amazing. But as a creator, I'm seeing that I'm paying a lot for a lot of overclocking features that are not actually useful to me and probably to you as a creator. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And if you do want to pick it up, there's a link for you down in the description below where you can buy this. And while you're there, just pick up a 4090 as well on the way. Use my affiliate links because that would really help me with the commissions, thinking about the price point of this motherboard. But if you don't want to waste money on massive motherboards, then check out the best bang for buck creator PC build guide in the description below, where you're not going to be wasting money on overclocking features or any of the other features that you don't need as a creator, but every part has been single-handedly and specifically chosen for you to get the best performance for your money. Check them out in the description below. There's one video that fits your budget. Don't worry, you can configure it. Everything will be explained down there. Check it out. Thanks guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.